Okay, I'm live. I got a lot of glare going on here. I don't care about the glare. Don't care about the glare. I'm actually probably outside my fucking comfort zone with this camera, by the way. Because I'm sitting here looking at shit. Let me do this. Okay, glare's gone. Three, two, one. Nobody watching. Alright. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Everybody's talking about the Constitution. I love the Constitution. The Constitution is one of my favorite fucking things in the world. But there are a few clauses in the Constitution that don't apply. One is specifically to the First Amendment. No, I'm not a lawyer. No, I'm not Merp. But I do know for a fact, plain and simple fact, the First Amendment to the Constitution is debatable per state, per union, per judicial court system. Now you got to remember there are 11 judicial courts. 11 judicial courts in the United States of America. 11. We got, what, 50 states and 3 state protectorates? By 3 state protectorates, I mean we got Guam, we got Puerto Rico, and we got the Virgin Islands. Why the fuck do we even protect them? They ain't got nothing to do with that. Well, Guam, we protect them because they're like hop, skip, and a jump from North Korea. So yeah, we kind of keep an eye on those guys. Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, who the fuck gives a fuck about them? Another story. We'll go into that one later at a date. So, but no, we get down to the First Amendment. What is the First Amendment? Can any of you tell me what the First Amendment is? I dare you, the one person watching, to tell me what the First Amendment is. Please tell me. Will I research it myself? I just basically got to find the right book I looked at. Damn it. I can't see. Alright, so. Shit. Well, that brought me a bunch of porn. Wasn't what I was looking for. Somehow I got fisted man. I want First Amendment. But anyway, the First Amendment is the right, as you guys want to hear, the right to review and film in public. Okay. I'm going to turn this light back on for a minute. You're going to get glare. Alright. See, I told you you're going to get glare. So now I got a candle on my chin. Alright? So what we're going to do here is we're going to actually do this. Okay. Sorry, but I got an itchy eyeball. Alright. First Amendment of the Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble to the petition and to petition the government of redress for grievances. You know, I'm a strong believer in the Bill of Rights, but that is a pretty broad statement. It kind of leaves me aghast, really. I mean, this is so broad. How does one explain the Bill of Rights? All right, now see, I have other methods that I can look this up. So I can do the list of amendments if you want. So we got like, what, 27 of them? 18, 17? I don't know. What do we got? 27 amendments. 27th Amendment delays laws affecting Congress' salary from taking effect until after the next election of representatives. Okay, so right now, technically, the government's shut down, but they're still getting paid. According to the 27th Amendment, they shouldn't be getting paid, but they're going to get paid anyway. All right, so see, so now you know the amendments don't work. But anyway, prohibits Congress from making any law respecting an establishment of religion. Okay, Congress has no right to speak for religion. Therefore, the separation of church and state. Congress don't have that right, but they did it anyway. All right. Impeding the freedom of religion. But they still separate church and state. And they did that anyway. Abridging the freedom of speech. Hey, what did we call Nancy Pelosi? What did we call Charles Schumer? What did we call all those fucking... What did we call all those Muslims? I mean, they're telling us we can't have freedom of speech about religion? You know what? I don't give a flying fuck. I don't have any religion. And they cannot infringe on our free speech. This one holds true under any constitutional rule. The United States Supreme Court has proven freedom of speech, keyword speech, cannot be infringed upon in this nation. Now, the right of assembly falls to the state. By the state, I mean, let me kill this light. Freedom of assembly falls to the state. Now, when I mean the state, I mean each individual, what do they call those things? Appellate courts, appellate districts. So, an appellate district. Okay, so an appellate district. Does anybody know what an appellate district is? I'll tell you what an appellate district is. An appellate district is an independent Supreme Court derivative. Not the actual Supreme Court, but a Supreme Court derivative that has rule over specific area and region. So let's take the Ninth Supreme Court, where they take the clause of anyone can record the police. This is where that one came out. The Ninth Supreme Court said anybody can record the police. Now it's the Ninth Appellate Court. It's not the Supreme Court. It's an appellate. An appellate is not the state of Supreme. All right, so the Ninth Appellate Court says anybody in Alaska, Arizona, California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Montana, and Idaho can freely record the police without redress. All right? So now that you know that, you also have 5 other appellate courts. Or 4 other appellate courts. You have the Ninth Circuit, of course. The West Coast. Oh, by the way, did I say Hawaii? Hawaii and Guam are also involved in that. And why is Guam an appellate court? Guam's a state protectorate. It is not a fucking state. It's a protectorate. Guam should not have an appellate court, but it does. Now, we also have the Seventh Circuit Court. Seventh Circuit Court calls Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana. 3 states for one appellate court. That's it. 3 states. Now, why does the ninth have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7 states and the United States Protectorate. Who the fuck knows? Okay. Now, we mentioned the Seventh Circuit. Did we mention the Seventh Circuit? Yes, we did. All right. We mention the First Circuit? Okay, this First Circuit Court. First Circuit Court is simply Maine, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. Another three-stater. 3 states. So now we have 2 3-state circuit courts. And then that big ass one over there full of Democrats. Circuit courts. Because it's 3 states on the southern border away from Mexico on the farthest side of the Gulf of Mexico. We're talking about Florida, Alabama, and Georgia. There is also the plausibility that they could access the U.S. Virgin Islands in that appellate court. But the U.S. Virgin Islands are not a state protectorate. They're just a state protectorate. They have no right to vote, no more than Guam or Puerto Rico does, but they're still protected and funded by us. Why? They're not even connected to our country. In any fashion are they connected to our country. The closest reason anybody would be connected to our country is Guam, and that's because we use them to watch North Korea and Japan. And why did we do that? Well, because we conquered the country in World War II, thanks to Patton, by the way, who also lost Guam his first time around. Patton didn't win the whole game. He lost it once, took it back, and Patton didn't go there the second time. Anyway, now, the 5th protectorate actually involves Pennsylvania, which is the 3rd court, or the 3rd appellate court. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. That's your 3rd appellate court. That's your 5th. All right, now of those 5, all 5 of those have agreed to the fact that every person has the right to record in public and their public servant without regress or redress. Remember, regress or redress. Those are 2 keywords, regress and redress. Google them. 5 out of 11. All right? So, out of the 5 out of 11, we have the 3rd appellate, the 1st, the 7th, the 9th, and the 11th. So, 5 out of 11. So there are 6 appellate courts out there that said, no, we're not going to report the fact that you have the right to record anybody in public, let alone your own fucking cops. And guess what? Texas is one of those. Yet all your problems are happening in Texas, and all the people that are fighting it are in Texas. But guess what? They're all going to lose. There is no reason for them to lose. Why? Because they have a human right. And I'm not talking about human rights to the Constitution. I'm not talking human rights to their God. I'm talking their humanity, the right to be a human, their right to appoint themselves as the witness to the corruption. That's all it is. If they wish to fight this, they need to lose in the appellate court, forcibly lose if they have to, and then fight it again at the Supreme Court level. Take it to the Supreme Court and win, and then you have a case. So I actually live in a can't record state. I do have a state that I live in that I can record anything as a single person. I mean, in my state, one person in any conversation has to know it's video or audibly recorded, but I don't have a legal right to record my police officers or my government officials. Ain't gonna stop me, because I'm using the first clause in violation of the second clause, and if they want me to, I'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court. We're gonna go to Washington, D.C., that little fucking hole over here. It's just over there, you know, I mean, it's like D.C. Circuit Court. Oh, by the way, D.C. Circuit Court is also a part of the Third Circuit Court, just so you know. We'll go over there. And I'm not gonna fucking end until it covers the entire fucking nation. But I will put in a clause. Does not work in Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, or Guam. Because I say we only need this right in American states, not protectorates. So, to my one visitor, thank you for watching. See me in court.